So if we have sudden changes in temperature, that actually can be a little bit harder on animals than when it just gradually gets a bit colder. So making sure that the animal has essentially had time to acclimate, has grown a winter hair coat is important. Otherwise, we probably need to help support them with blanketing or at least making sure they have adequate shelter. So a shed that is positioned to essentially block the north wind and again get them out of that cold, bitter rain with wind is the key for them to being able to handle those cold temperatures. People always want to know, should they blanket their horse or not? And you have to think about, if you put that blanket on and it's not waterproof, you're going to do more harm than good if it changes to rain. Not taking the blanket off to see what the horse looks like under there and just really not paying attention to them during the winter because we're uncomfortable and we don't want to spend as much time outside. In addition, with cold temperatures, if the water freezes, the horse doesn't have access to that. So we typically see an increase in colic due to dehydration impactions in the winter. And that is largely preventable if we make sure we have an open source of water for them. So we either have to have heated tanks or bring warm water or continually bust open the ice off the tanks to make sure the horse has water. In addition, horses actually prefer lukewarm water over icy cold water. So if they only have icy cold water, sometimes they'll drop their water intake due to that. Colic can be mild from a horse that you notice that he hasn't picked up or eaten all of his grain, any feed refusals. I certainly really pay attention if a horse isn't eating normally. To a horse that's a little crampy, so they may be wanting to roll, looking at their sides, pawing, just showing signs of discomfort. To a horse that is in severe pain, will be rolling violently, maybe sweating profusely. So it can range from essentially what you'd see with mild discomfort all the way up to extreme pain. In the winter, a couple things come to mind with hoof care. One is if we have these ups and downs of temperature and we have rain at the same time and the water isn't able to soak down into the ground, mud, a lot of mud being around can be really hard on their hooves. So they'll can get thrush and abscesses from the weakened hoof wall. The other possibility is with really hard frozen ground. If it's really rough, really hard frozen ruts and things like that, they may be more susceptible to bruising or just kind of some injuries relative to those conditions. So in general, there's not as much problems in the winter because theoretically it's dry and cold. But if we have weird winters with a lot of mud or rain, then it can be a problem.